Hi, my name is Dave Miles. I've been teaching electronics for 16 years, and one thing I'd like to do is give you a quick overview of the Fluke 87.5 multimeter. There are millions of different multimeters out there, but this is one we'll be using in this video. Okay, first, as you look at the function knob, it should be in the off position. So if we go clockwise, the first position we come to would be the AC volts. Notice it's a V sign with a little squiggly line above it. That squiggly line means it's AC. The next one, if we want to take a voltage measurement, is a V, but it has a straight line. Now the straight line on any multimeter means DC, and the squiggly line is always AC. And notice when we go to the V with the squiggly line, the AC, if you look at the LCD screen itself, in the top right hand corner you'll see an AC pop up. Okay, now if we go to the straight line, DC pops up on the screen, so that lets us know, which function we've actually selected. The next one is little mV. That means millivolts. So if you're measuring something that's a very small voltage, you would want the millivolts, less than 1 volt. Continuing around, the next one we have an ohm sign. And notice there's actually 3 different things that we can measure right there. Okay, the ohms, which is the omega sign, looks like an upside down horseshoe. That's for measuring resistance. Okay, the one to the left of that is continuity check. And we have a button just above the function. It's to the left. It looks just like that continuity sign. It's actually a beeping sign. If you push that, it will actually make a beeping sound if you touch the leads together. And I'll demonstrate for this one. So that's telling me there's continuity. Okay, and also there's a little orange capacitor in that same position. That would be to measure the capacitance. So if I push the orange button, the orange function button, it changes to capacitance reading. You'll see on the LCD screen that changes from ohm sign to farads. In this particular case it's nanofarads, little n, big F. Okay, going on around the meter, the next step would be a diode check. If we wanted to measure the diode to see if the diode is good or bad, we would use the diode function. Okay, the next function is a little squiggly line, and we all know what the squiggly line is. That's to measure AC, but in this particular case we're not measuring voltage, we're measuring current, which is signified by the A for amperage. Okay, milliamps would be the little m, so we're measuring milliamps or amps. Okay, and the very last position, that's the upside down N, and that's for microamps. Okay, and again this is AC. Now if I wanted to convert this to DC, you can see the little orange flat line to next to this. Okay, if I wanted to go there, I would just press the orange function key, and you can see on the top side of the meter of the LCD it changes from AC to DC. If I push it again, it'll switch back to AC. Okay, and so forth. Okay, and that's just the very basic introduction. All multimeters have their own different functions, but these are just about on every multimeter you'll see, it'll have these basic functions. Okay, next we're going to be talking about how to connect your multimeter probes up to your multimeter. And it depends on what you're actually measuring. Okay, if you look at the bottom of the Fluke 87.5, there are 4 probe connectors. The one that says COM on the top of it is actually the common. Okay, that one will always have the black probe connected there. So you always make sure that one stays with the common. It's the black. Now the other 3 connectors, notice they all have red. They're colored red. Well, that matches the red probe. So the red probe will be in one of those 3 positions depending on what you're measuring. Okay, if I'm measuring voltage, whether it's AC or DC, you'll put this in the far right hand corner or right hand side, which says V. If you're measuring ohms, it will also go there, or if you're measuring diode check, it will go there. In this particular case it has a temperature check that we could also use it on the right hand side as well. Now if I look to the left of the common, you'll see a little m big A and a micro amp. Okay, so you have milliamps, microamps. So if you're measuring less than 400 milliamp, you would measure, or you'd put the probe into that position. Okay, now if you measure a lot of current, up to 10 amps, you can use the one that just says A. That's for higher current readings. And the Fluke 87.5 can actually take up to 20 amps for 30 seconds. Okay, if you have that measured any longer than that, you'll damage the multimeter. In the milliamp range, if you get more than 400 milliamps, you need to use the amperage range, the big A. And if you have any more questions, talk to your instructor.